Welcome, Dr. Lamb.
Fix phones and tablets. Help our neighbors out there.
Welcome, Dr. Lamb.
Good evening.
I've been
How's
warming them up
everybody?
with jokes and all like that, so it's all yours.
All right. Well, I'm glad you warmed up the crowd for me. I need me a hot man to go around with me. Get the crowd ready to go, boost them up. Hey, Lordy. I see we got Dr. Bullis with us. There's Dr. Laws, Dr. Stone, there's Dr. Maraglia. Oh, we got the gang's all here. We got 3 pages worth tonight. Great day. We're doing well. We've got about 60, looks like. That's great. Well, it's about 6 o'clock, 5:59. We'll go ahead and get started. I'll share my screen. Let me pull the screen down so y'all get the full effect here. I'd hate for y'all to see half of it. All right, let's see. Let me share my screen and look at the agenda. Well, first thing on the agenda before I even get it pulled up here is Dr. Steve Laws is with us tonight. I don't know if we have any of our others, but let me. Okay, Dr. Laws, you'll have to unmute yourself now. Dr. Steve Laws has joined us tonight. He's later down. I've got him on the agenda here. Let's see. There he is. And there's Dr. Jennifer Putnam's information. There's Dr. Laws, Dr. Hamilton. We have 3 doctoral programs, 2 licensure programs at Gardner-Webb. Dr. Laws is here, which is the extension of this program. Dr. Stone, who y'all have, so many of you have for 605, he also teaches across in 730. And so Dr. Laws is here tonight to talk to you one last time about recruiting for doctoral cohorts in the fall. So I'm going to stop my share and turn it over to Dr. Laws at this time. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be very brief, everybody. So you've heard from me before, and we now are in the summer months. And so some of you are in the add-on program, you're in your 603, and Dr. Lamb will talk to you about the benefits of being in that position where you can trade out your 605 for the 730. Others of you are finishing up your MELS program with 605 this summer, and you I'm sure just kind of sit there and say, what on earth am I going to do in the fall if I can't go to class? So either way, we are hoping that a lot of you will consider joining a doctoral program, and of course in my case it would be the EDLS program. What you have experienced in MELS, we do in a bigger context, if you will, in that we look at the central office context instead of the school context, the big picture piece. You do get a superintendent license with our program, but as we say consistently, we are not a superintendent development program. We are a leadership development program. So our people go into a variety of arenas that include central office or school-based or higher ed, whatever they want to do with their doctorate. So we hope you'll consider it. It's a 6-semester program, consecutive semesters. So if you wanted to start right at when you could this fall, it'd be fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer. We hook you up with a dissertation coach from the very beginning to guide you in that process. Those of us who got our doctorates years ago didn't have that opportunity, and we think it has benefited our students tremendously, so that you're concurrently working on your dissertation and your coursework. We are a cohort model, meaning we call it low residency. We do 6 to 8 Zooms per semester on a particular night of the week, and we do 3 weekends face-to-face. Our sites are the main campus at Boiling Springs, Charlotte, which our campus or our building is the exit right before you get to Carowinds at the South Carolina line. We also do Davidson-Davie Community College in Thomasville and Wayne Community College in Goldsboro. Those are our 4 sites. And Saturdays are typically 9 o'clock to around 4 o'clock. And Sundays, 9 o'clock till about 1:30. We don't stop for lunch on Sunday. We get done so you can get home and have semblance of a weekend, or a semblance of a day anyway. So that's the program. We do evidences just like you're accustomed in MELS. They're aligned to the superintendent standards rather than the principal standards. And Dale, I'm trying to get through so that you can get to your business. So I just wanted everybody to know, we really hope you'll consider it. Stone and I both teach in this program. The rest of our professors are practitioners in your world. They're all central office administrators, superintendents, assistant superintendents, those type roles. So it's a really fun opportunity to have dialogue of seeing how things operate in that world. And the great part of the cohort model is you have lifelong friends that you start working with and get to know extremely well. So Dr. Stone, you do this with me. What did I leave out?
Oh, well.
See, he was asleep. He didn't even listen to a thing I said. This is what I go through. I want all of you to know, this is what I go through on a regular basis.
I was listening, and it is a great program. And if you are in the males program for the administration component, this is really a logical next step. So if you're ready to make that step, it will open doors for you, not only in your higher jobs in the K-12 education, but also the university level. You have to have a doctorate in order to teach at most universities. So if that's something you're thinking down the road, we have the program for you, and we'd love to have you in it. So, and since I'll be teaching at least 25 of you this semester, if you have additional questions about what it's like, just ask me, because as Dr. Law said, I am also a part of that program. So it's a great program.
I do want to point out, and Dr. Laws did cover this. I'm trying to type responses to folks who are having questions here. Please remember that the low residency, where you would go on the weekend and stay all day Saturday and half day on Sunday, that's just 3 times a semester, spring and fall. And how many times in the summer, Dr. Laws?
3.
3 in the summer. So it's 3 times. So it's not like you go every week or every month. It's 3 times a semester. It's about every 5 or 6 weeks you do that. That's number one. Number two, how many nights do you meet during the week? I'm just going through these questions here.
Yeah, it's a particular night of the week. So like I'm starting up tomorrow night with my 740 class, and we meet on Tuesdays. So we will meet this summer on 7. Tomorrow night counts. It's just an orientation, but there will be 6 more Tuesdays that we will meet from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night's orientation, then plus 6 more, and then we do 3 weekends.
In general, it's every other week. In general, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. We typically don't meet the Tuesday. Yeah, if we meet on the weekend, we typically don't meet the following Tuesday.
Right.
And I saw Dale's answer on the 3-year program. It is conceivable you can finish in less than 3 years. It typically could be 2 full years and then fall, spring, and you graduate in the spring of your 3rd year. So it's a little bit less than 3 years if everything falls into place for you. But that's typically the length of the program.
Yeah. And sometimes folks go into that following summer, or I've got one who finished May 4th. And so although technically she goes into summer, she's going to drop Wednesday. She's got all of her things taken care of. A lot of them are kind of in that boat, that cutoff, whether you finish at the end of the spring or whether you have to go into summer. But it's kind of, so I just always say, just count, a year, whether it's 2 semesters or 3.
Yeah.
But the beauty is you've got somewhere on the screen, you've got Dr. Joe Bullis. Now, I'm going to use him as metaphor. For those of you who have worked with Dr. Bullis in coaching, or you've worked with some of the other folks, they will give you a coach like that, just like, and they will work with you individually from the very first semester toward your dissertation. They work with you. And you can keep them until time when you want to pick a chair. And sometimes you can pick them as your chair if you've hit it off. But you're going to have a person, just like in Mel's, that works with you on a regular basis that gets to know you. And I think that is a incredible benefit. You know, I won't speak for the rest of the folks on the screen, but this was not my experience at Chapel Hill when I got mine. I can tell you that. It was 3 and 3. It was 3 years of full-time coursework and 3 years of full-time dissertation minimum. And you know, there was zero help. This is the exact different model than that. And that's not accidental or incidental. That's because Doctors Laws and Stone and the folks that work in that program have strived to make it that way. It won't always be that way, I'm afraid. That's why one of the things is urgent. If you can tell by looking on the screen, you know, we're all senior citizens. We won't be around forever. And the next reiteration of these kinds of programs will be much different, I'm afraid. And I don't think they'll serve students nearly as well. They'll be cheaper. They'll be handier for the university, but they won't be as student-centered as they are now. So that's my point in that, and you've heard me say this for, you know, since you've known me. Bet on yourself. You know, take the risk on yourself. Bet on your future. I'm not sure that very many of us on the screen knew that this is where we would end up, but we took a chance. And so, yeah, is it too much money? Yes, absolutely. It's too much money, but it's too much everywhere. I don't know. Dr. Maraglia is on the screen, and she's kind of the young one of our group. And she finished, you know, in modern times. And I don't know, Gardner Webb's somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000 now. And I'd say that's in line. Dr. Maraglia, is that kind of in line with what everybody else out there, the online only people, the big ones like you went to?
Yes, I would say so. And
And
they do not want you to finish in a timely manner either.
Yeah, I think that, thank you for saying that, Dr. Murray. I think the argument, it is expensive, and we all acknowledge that. I think the benefit is time is money.
Yeah.
And if it costs a little bit more, but you have the support system to get you through, that's a good thing. And does everybody finish quickly? No, because life happens. But we have a really good track record. So I've put. I don't want to belabor it. And thank you all for giving me this time. I appreciate it. I saw Zach on here somewhere, but he's not on my screen anymore. But I think Zach and I have talked, and
I think you've talked with Tyler.
Tyler, yes, I've talked with Tyler. And anyway, my email, Dale's got that in your notes. My phone number's on your screen in the chat. If you want to talk, if you will kindly text me first. I'm no different than you are. If I don't recognize the number, I typically don't answer it because you know what those calls are. So if you will just text me and say, I'm so-and-so, please call, or you don't even have to say please, just call me. I'll get back with you and we can talk about any questions you have. And I do hope you'll do it. I know right now you're sitting there saying, man, I'm tired of school, but the good part is you're on a roll. And I will say that I think you can talk to any of our completers and they'll tell you they have a good time. It's work, but I think they will all tell you they have a good time. And we try to make it that way. So with that, if you don't have any questions, I will depart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So
thank you, everybody.
So some specifics. For those of you who started MEL 601 this spring and in the 3-semester program, you'll now in 603 this summer, either with me or Dr. Caton and Maraglia, you are eligible to save $4,000 by, instead of going to 605 in the fall with Dr. Stone, you would go to 730 in the fall with Dr. Stone, and start your doctoral program a semester early and save that $4,000 a semester. And so that's a pretty good incentive. That's the most we can get out of them, folks. I'm gonna tell you right now. We tried everything in the world, but you know, we did get that deal. And that's about the best we can do. We're concerned about the cost. And so if you want to accelerate, if you're in 601, just going to 602, starting, or 603, excuse me, 603, 3-semester folks who already have a master's degree, we'll accelerate you in the fall to 730, save you $4,000. You get started a semester earlier on your program. So that's what those of you who are in 605 coming up this summer, whether you're the 5-semester or the 3-semester, you're eligible to go in. We can't get you any savings. We might be able to get you a savings if you live in Rutherford, Cleveland, Gaston, or Lincoln. We might be able to get you a foothills discount on the doctoral program. Just let us know that you live, if you work for one of the public school systems in those counties, we may be able to get you the foothills discount, which is pretty good discount. And so we'll work on that. So that's the biggie. We always do. This is our last shout out. You won't hear any more from us. We're, you know, if you want to join us, we'd love to have you. I teach, Dr. Laws and I, we do a tag team in the fall for the EDCI doctorals. And so I don't generally teach in EDCI. It's been rumored that I will this fall, but I hopefully you won't have to have me again. But I do teach in EDCI. And I also do dissertation work. I am a methodologist. I know that's hard for most of y'all to believe, but I am the numbers man. And so I do methodology on dissertations across all 3 of the disciplines. I have 8 DEOLs right now in organizational leadership that'll finish this summer. I have a number in EDLS and I have a number in EDCI. I have a good many of those in EDCI that I do methodology for. So what we're saying is that we're here, we all share across. Any of the MELS folks can be on your committees. If you've bonded with somebody in the MELS program, we'll get them on your committee. They can work with you. You get 3 people on your committee and one of them has to be full-time. So you can pick one of us. You can pick one of the adjuncts from MELS to be on your committee. That'd be great. We will figure out a way to facilitate you. And again, I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do things like this, but you know, we're going to keep going until we can't anymore. All right. So that's doctoral recruitment. That's on the screen. Let me share my screen and let's get back to the point of the evening, which is where we are. If you're in 605, you should have already applied for graduation. If you haven't, apply. If it says, well, it'll only let me apply for the fall, and we'll have Sherry manually move you back. Now, they might charge you a late fee, but if you have not registered for graduation, I don't care which program you're in, everybody in 605 must go in and register for graduation. Now, remember, I don't have a thing in the world to do with that deadline. If they want to charge you a late fee, I can't get that waived. That's out of the registrar's office. They email you directly. Now, for those of you in 603, 12-month program who will be finishing in the fall, they'll be sending out a notice here very shortly. As soon as they get everybody cleared and everybody enrolled and everybody cleared for summer graduation, they'll open it up for fall graduation. Usually about the 2nd week of summer school, be looking for an email. Check your email daily. Those of you who are finishing the fall, you will apply for graduation before summer gets too far over. So make sure. And if you think you've missed it, email me and I'll find out. All right, for those of you who are in with Dr. Stone this summer in the 20-month, that's the 5-semester people, there's the things that you need to do, your coursework. You got to finish up your CAP and your SOP. You got to finish your competency folio and all those things. For those of you who in the 3-semester, same thing if you're with Dr. Stone or Dr. Sanders. And so here are your dates. Here's your dead date. So all 6 evidences, that's APSAL, APTEL, OMA, SKIP, CAP, PSYOP. Those 6 are due by 9 o'clock on Monday, July 17th. And then your portfolio must be completed the following Monday at 9 o'clock on the 24th. Everything in task stream must be completed because you will graduate. Remember, there's no ceremony, but you will graduate on Friday, July 28th. Now, for all of you who graduate this summer that are in 605, you will be invited back along with the fall graduates, and you will participate in our fall ceremony. Generally in December, we do a one-stop shop. We'll do the college early in the morning, and then later in the morning or after lunch, you'll do the College of Ed. So we'll do the university and then we'll do the college. But remember, there is no ceremony, there is no celebration, there is no nothing from the university in the summer. Dr. Stone will put together a program, kind of our own little in-house thing that will be video online. He does it every summer. It's wonderful. And you will enjoy that. So he'll be asking you for materials to do that. And he makes a nice slideshow set to music. It's a wonderful thing. And so it's a celebration of you finishing this summer, but then you'll come back in the fall and we'll kiss babies and see your children or your parents or your siblings or whoever. We have a big time at graduation. And so I have a picture here if I can find it. I can never find anything. There's me and Vera that just finished this week. And let's see, there's my latest, where's one of my doctorals, and let's see what else we got here. Oh, here we go. So you saw Dr. Maraglia on the screen. That's me and her together. By Christmas, that's what I'll look like. I'll be Santa Claus by Christmas. But we'll have a big time at Christmas. That's me and her. And no, she's a normal sized person. I'm just that overgrown. Everybody asks. And so I'll just go ahead and before somebody else does it to me, I'll just tell them I'm that overgrown. But but we have a big time when everybody comes. We have families. We have, it's worth your time to come. So I want to put a plug in for that. So that's the folks who are in 605. Here's what you've got to do. There are your dates. They're right there on the screen. Big thing, make sure if you're finishing this summer, make sure you've applied for graduation. If you're going to finish this fall, and if you haven't heard anything from the registrar in 2 weeks, let me know and I'll find out when they're going to put out for fall graduation, because we don't want to miss those dates. They charge pretty big healthy late fees, and we don't want to do that. For those of you who are Dr. Caton and Maraglia this summer, the 20-month program, you got to do the OMA. You've only got to do one evidence. If you can start the next one, that'd be great, but you've only got to do one this summer. And here are the things on the screen that you've got to do. For the 12 months master's program that are with me this summer, sections 2 and 4, you got to do 2 evidence, OMA and the skip this summer. So, you better catch another gear. We're going to move fast this summer. So here's the things that you've got to do to get that done. Those of you with Dr. Neal and Dr. Burgess, you only have to do one evidence, the APTEL, and you're probably going to say, well, we did that APTEL with Dr. Hamilton this fall. No, excuse me, this spring, and you certainly did, because we were trying to accelerate you. If you would like to move into the OMA, that's fine. And if you don't want to, if you just want to catch up on your competency folio and have a nice leisurely summer, that's fine with me too. And then you can double back up in the fall. So as long as you've got your APTEL done, you should be golden. Y'all should have a great summer in 602. Now, it's not the benefit that I'm trying to make it out, because that 602 is a bear. I'm going to tell you right now, that's your research and statistics course, and assessment. So we got you sped up on your evidence work so you can work on your projects and you can work on that class. The content in that one is tough, especially in the summer with only 10 weeks. So we have cleared the decks. That's why we accelerated you on the APTEL in the spring, so that would clear the decks for you to be able to knock that class out. That's going to be your hardest class. There's no doubt. Everybody, research and statistics is everybody's hardest class. And so, but we've taken steps to make sure that you have time to do that in 10 weeks. The biggest complaint is we only got 10 weeks. It's too hard to do statistics. Well, it is, but if you don't have an evidence to do, you should be able to knock it out. And you've already knocked your APTEL out. See, we were thinking ahead. Okay, reminders again. We don't have a commencement in the summertime. If you finish in the summer, you'll come back in December with us. Dr. Stone will do a video celebration. Please remember that, you know, you got to put your logs in TaskStream in the competency folio at the end of each semester. No, don't put them in your DRF unless it's your last semester. Let me say that again. For those of you in 605, when you get your last log, whether you're in 3 semester or 5 semester, when you get your last log done this summer, it along with the 4 or 3, 2, whatever your previous number semester logs, put all of them in your DRF and submit them for evaluation when you have all 3 or all 5, according to which program you're in. If you're not in 605, you never put your logs in your DRF portfolio in TaskStream. You put them in your competency folio and request comments. And if you get that wrong, they'll make me send it back. So that won't be a big deal, but try to get it right. Here are the people that you get in touch with if you're interested in a doctorate. Dr. Putnam is in charge of curriculum and instruction. Dr. Laws, ed leadership. Dr. Hamilton, and I'll be with him in just a minute, in organizational leadership. That's not a licensure program. That's for city, county government, small colleges kind of thing. A lot of community college people are in that, not K-12 people. But if you want to go that direction, we've had a good many. I've got 2 right now that are finishing this summer that Sean Perry and Bertie Barbary came out of the MELS program. They're with me. They're finishing their doctorates. They've already, Bertie's already, she's already submitted for her final defense. She'll finish in June, and Sean will probably finish in July, but they should both get through this summer. Again, if you're in 603 this summer, 3 semester, you already got a master's, you can accelerate into 740 this fall. If you live in Rutherford, Cleveland, Gaston, or Lincoln, we can see about getting in the doctoral program, getting you the foothills. And then here are the operational definitions for the roles of the people who work with you. And then of course the student suggestions. A lot of grant money out there. And Eric Figueres, who was with us a little while back, great guy from down in Florence, his wife, Erin's been with us as well. And he said a lot of the information in the AppSell and AppTel were extremely helpful in writing grants. So if you're into writing grants, that's just a suggestion from him. I always like to pass that one along. Eric and Erin have been wonderful. They've been wonderful alumni with us. Great students. All right, I'm going to stop my share and catch up on the chat and see what questions we have. I think that's it. I think we've answered all of our questions. Anybody have anything? You can unmute yourself. Anybody have anything? It's good to see many.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so before I asked about the doctoral program, if we were applying for financial aid and we have already paid for the spring and the summer, do we have to go back in and do the FAFSA again for the spring, for the fall?
If you are changing to the doctoral program,
Yes.
generally they don't make you do that. Generally, you have a certain amount of money, and if you have any left, you keep going unless you want to apply for more. Now, if you're going to apply for more, then you would have to. But if you're going to continue with what you got, most people, what they do is they continue until it runs out, then they apply for more. I'm not sure that's the best method. And so that's what I mean. That Amanda just talking about. A lot of them, if they've got money left over in the same year, they'll use it. Then they apply. Yeah, you have to apply again. That's what they do. But if it were me, I would find out and I would apply. But as I said, some of them will say, yeah, I still got money left, and then I'll hope that I'll get it later for next year. Hope's not a plan. And we have people who do that. And then after the first semester in a doctoral program, they have to drop out thinking, well, I was just going to go back and get more. I'd see about more first. If that would just be me. Renee says you do have to apply over in the fall. Yeah, if you're extending over, but yes. Yeah. Now, if you were doing the 605 in the fall, it would take you through the 605, or it would take you into 730. But because that meant you started in the spring, and you would have to apply again in the spring. So that's what I'm talking about. Some people will do the accelerated, start the first one thinking they'll get money in the spring, and sometimes they don't. So if you started in the fall, you'll have to reapply in the fall. If you started in the spring, even though you can start the doctoral program in the fall, I would see about my money before I got too deep into that. Even though it's not time for renewal, I'd find out about it. That'd just be me, because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's about $40,000 time you get done. I mean, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had 5 go to editor in the last month. I have one who only had to pay the base fee on that, which is $550. I've got one. I think it's going to cost as much as going to school. I think she had to come back from the editor 9 different times. And then I had one who went 3 times, and I think she had to pay an extra $400. So, I mean, nothing's cheap about doctoral programs anywhere. Now we do have an editor, Gardner Webb. She's only $550, and that's really cheap compared to what most places charge you for, the people they hook you up with. I remember Dr. Maraglia, you were talking about that. Do you remember what the editor cost you?
No, you give my memory a little too much credit.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it at the time, but it was just kind of ridiculous. I won't say a number, but $550 is dirt cheap. And even if you have to go back, I mean, just like the one I was talking about, I had to go back 3 times. I mean, her still wasn't $900. So most of mine are paying between $550 and $900. Now I've got one, it'll look like the national debt. But now that's on her. It's kind of like my position coach used to tell me in college: if you can't listen, you can feel. And so that's the deal. But
Dr.
we'll
Lamb,
try to get you out as cheaply as we can on things like that and books. We'll do everything we can, but the per hour is pretty stiff.
Dr. Lamb, there's a question about ordering caps and gowns. Where do they get them?
Through the bookstore.
So will they get an email from Johnston's or from Barnes and Noble?
Yep. Doesn't come from the registrar anymore. Comes straight from them. Comes out of the bookstore. And so since they're hitting one this summer, it'll be fall. I'll try to prompt them to remind them that we'd like to send it for you for those who are graduating this summer before you go to alumni email and don't ever check it. But now remember, in Barnes and Noble, Gardner Webb no longer runs their own bookstore. Barnes and Noble has taken it over. And so we don't have the same relationship. Will they need your GPA when you order your regalia? No. If you have any sashes or any of that, that'll come from your honor society. I saw Dr. Sanders on here. Let's see. There's only where's Dr. Sanders? Dr. Sanders, where are you? I saw you.
I'm here.
All right. So the only thing that we have for graduate now, remember, this is graduate school. This is not undergraduate where you got everything in the world, including the propeller on you. You're going to get a hood as a master's student, but the only thing that you would wear would be your, was it PDK, Phi Delta Kappa? That's the only thing. Or what is it?
KDP.
KDP.
Yes.
KDP. You and what is it? A little ribbon you pin on? Is that it?
They may wear their cords, and you will have to purchase your cords through me. If you're smart, you get them a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, that's the only thing we have. Now, if I don't care if you come dressed like a kangaroo. I see people got stuff hanging on them. It's just silly. That's up to you. But now the only thing that the college recognizes is that KD is the is the honor cord from the College of Ed is the, was it PDK? PK? I'll write it down this time if you'll tell me one last time.
I'm going to tell you, but I'm charging you KDP.
All right. What is it?
KDP, Kappa
K-
Delta Phi.
KDP. All right. And so if that's it, that's all it's right now. I see people with stuff on, all kind of colors all around and all that. Now, if you want to wear that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that anybody turn you away. Now we're gonna put your hood on you when you cross the stage. We'll put the hood on you. I mean, you know, it's kind of become, I don't know. I mean, I was on the back row on the stage last week and I put Jeff Hamilton next to me and I saw this, they were getting the baby carriage coming in. This is absolutely a true story. And they moved it down the front where they have the wheelchairs and had a baby carriage with a little surrey on top, you know, like a sunscreen. And we noticed them doing that while we were processing up on the stage in all of our regalia. And I was sitting on the back row. I couldn't hear anyway. So I looked over to the side and I punched Jeff and said, I believe that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen in my life. And he looked over there and said, put your glasses on. That ain't a baby, that's a dog. A woman smuggled a dog in to graduation in a baby carriage last week. I can't make that up. So they used to stand at the door. My point is, they used to stand at the door and line you up and check your regalia and do all that stuff. And if you had stuff on that wasn't sanctioned, they'd make you take it off or get out of line. But hell, there was a dog at graduation last week. So I don't know. I guess they don't still do that. I don't know. So, but now if somebody says something to you, then, you know, you're at your own risk. But the only thing you're supposed to have on is that KDP cord, and that would be it. And don't bring a dog. Below ugly dog, look like Jim on Mike and Molly. But you'll get, they've been getting their stuff from Johnston. But make sure you get, and they'll have the right one. So I would not be going online just to like Graduation Source or places like that. You need the one that Gardner Webb has so that your robe is all the same. Your mortarboards, tassel are all the same. They've got to be black. They have a look that they want, and all those things. And the hood has to be the right kind of hood. When we put the hood up over you, well, when I put the hood up over you, I guess Dr. Bull, he's so much shorter than me. He's embarrassed to get a stool to stand on. So he just shakes your hand after I put your hood over you. So, but that's what we do. We hood you, or I do. And then when you come across the stage at the College of Ed ceremony. And so when you buy your package, it's all the same. It's all custom. It's all one hat, one gown, one tassel, one hood. And it all is what Gardner Webb has approved. So I would wait until I got the email to order my stuff, and I would order that stuff. And again, if you've got extra stuff that you want to take the risk, you know, that somebody won't pull you out of line, I certainly won't, because I'm going to be on the procession. I'm going to be on the back row.
Dr. Lamb, there's a question about how often they update the graduation list for summer. And Dr. Sanders, someone wants to know how to get in contact with you.
The graduation list gets updated by the registrar. You have to apply. And then when they roll them, they'll roll them here in another day or two once they get everybody registered. They won't update the rest till probably Friday or Monday, because they're worried about registration right now. And then they'll go back and update the list on graduation.
Dr. Lamb, I've tried a couple of times to register for the graduation, but it doesn't let me. And so I thought maybe I wasn't supposed to do it yet. So, and then I mean, I don't know.
Go back and try again. Now, if you've got holes,
I'm doing it now.
If you've got academic or account holes, it won't let you, but you should try now. And if it says fall, send me an email and I'll have Sherry move you this summer, or she'll do it automatically, but I'll follow up with her.
Okay.
All right. What's next? Everybody good? Gosh, we got 94 people on here tonight. That's really good. All right. And I see Okay, somebody asked total of 8 semesters. It's six semester classes in the doctoral program, and folks generally finish their dissertation between 2 or 3. Now, Dr. Laws will be mad at me for having said this, but if you want to, at the end of 6 semesters, you can stop. Get your ed specialist and move on with your life if you don't want to write a dissertation. No shame in that game. You can stop at the end of your doctoral studies, at the end of your 2 years of coursework, same as the EDS, and get an EDS. We do that. We have folks do it all the time. So, you know, if that's something you get there and you say, I'm just fried, I can't write anymore. Now, you don't write near as much in the doctoral program in terms of your evidences. They're central office based, but y'all could do those, you know, blindfolded. I mean, by the time you get through these, not that big a deal. 6 semesters of coursework plus dissertation, or 6 semesters, get your EDS and be done. You have the option.
Dr. Lamb,
Mhm.
is our degree gonna come before graduation?
No. I mean, what they normally do is whatever date your graduation is within 4 weeks, they'll mail it to you. Like this summer. Now, again, when you go across in December graduation, whether you're a summer or fall, if you're a summer, you'll probably already get it before the ceremony. You'll get it about 4 weeks after you graduate in the summer. But for those of you who are graduating in December, from whatever your graduation date is, it takes 4 weeks, you get it in the mail. When they hand you that nice cover and you take a picture, it doesn't have anything inside of it. You do not get your actual diploma. Now that we go through Barnes and Noble for all these things and brokered at Jostens, it's not like in the days when the registrar's office did it. When you got it, it had yours inside of it. It does not have anything inside of it. It's just the cover. And so if you finish July 28th, sometime about 1st of September, it'll come in the mail. If you finish December the 11th, about the 1st of February, it'll come in the mail. They do not have them on site anymore. But you know, Barnes and Noble, they're not there to do student service. Barnes and Noble is there to make money. That's the difference. When you privatize, you have to understand they're not doing it for the good of the group. They only do it to make money. So you will not get the same level of service that you got prior to that. But it's cheaper.
Dr. Lamb, I just want to remind my students that immediately after this, go to your Blackboard page and pull up that Zoom link for the one I sent you this afternoon, and we will Zoom.
All right, I think we're done. I'm looking through these. I think we got everything. Everybody, we had a question here. There are no more add-ons. Everybody's getting a master's degree. Everybody gets hooded. I think that was the last question that I saw. Everybody gets a master's degree. Everybody gets hooded. So everybody gets to go across the stage. Everybody gets to be at both celebrations. Woohoo! We have a big time. All right. All right. I'll see y'all. My group. I'll see y'all tomorrow night or Wednesday night. Everybody have a good semester. If you need anything, call me, email. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Dr. Lamb.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Dr. Lamb, did you get my text about tariffs?
Yeah.
Couldn't get on tonight? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
I just
I
wanted to
did.
make
Thank
sure.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.